Tananduch tasanachtan ande veshena. Asuchtai sayanachtan vehet itnata anachnacha. Asurt vishiat nachtan tachnes sibesho. Ishanantach nantach shanach nantayeshenech neyenu. Sivasa surta ta sivashierne. Asurta sanach nashich nantayashanach tan yevenu. Ana sutavasana sanant abetuchnik eyetachai. Isa such tanta sivishiat nachai tevevevevenu. Tuch tasana asart kasivitnik eshiet nacha. Naya 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 oham. Isanam da vindavane en doctoram. Indo. Isorenam tachan indeve. Tandavanayeno. Tandavanindea. Tandach ninde in shundonachai. Isandach nin ye. Indaran de vende naha. Istandach nande be. Torenam dach vandea. Torenam de veneno. Tamnach tambach nindai tambach nindhene. Istandanyan deheno. Intanbal. Torenam dach vain in de shono indam. Indukal idam. Isandane veno. Indenam dachai. Isorenam dach nindehono indukai. Isandandaya. Isandandayeno. Isorenam dach vanaya. Indava indene. In Sunda, in Deve, in Toram. Ich sandach mei. In Tavion. Ich Torenam Tukai. In Dan Shindono. In Istandava hindono hintach mei. Hindeo. Isuchtam da asana anand asanach tachta anasayech nechve esha. Again with the yellow. ¿Por qué? Tamna ana achsach nach sanandach sanandaye shecha. Das tasur, tasanach nach shachnantaya vietneshen. Nasach tam sanach nantayashu. Hibeshenech deshanachai tam nishanach tanai. Tanai tandadane. Tasanach tante esheyenach. Satnam, thank you so much for joining. My name is Jean. I am a channel for creator consciousness to assist humanity in reconnecting and re-embodying its divine core authentic expression, which I believe to be the Christed inner child. So today's session and activation and blessing is intended to assist us in shifting our perspective to be able to manifest more blessings, to be able to live a life of ease and joy and growth and flow and abundance, etc., etc., etc. So because I have been noticing how okay, wait, first of all, I remember when my spiritual journey first started, like at the very beginning. It was when I drank ayahuasca for the first time. And ayahuasca was actually my first plant medicine, except for cannabis, right? But so I drank ayahuasca, and I remember the plant very clearly telling me, like, perspective is everything. In my very first journey, perspective is everything. And that kept playing out through my head for months on end after that ceremony. Perspective, perspective, perspective. And quite honestly, I kind of forgot until recently. I started once again realizing how not only is my perspective very skewed, which leads to me having a lack mindset, or not noticing that I have enough, or like anything like that, right? But also that my the more my perspective is a certain way, the more my reality starts shifting towards that, right? Because reality is a reflection from the inside. And so perspective is everything. If we live in a perspective of we are constantly struggling, then we will be constantly struggling. If we rather live in a perspective of I am constantly being initiated, then that is a much more powerful perspective to have. That's a much more powerful and empowering view to have, don't you think? Because instead of constantly struggling, I'm constantly growing, I'm constantly becoming stronger, I'm constantly learning new things, I'm constantly expanding my awareness and my horizons and blah blah blah. I know that, like, when you are when you're like in the thick of these dense energies though, and you hear something like this, you're like, oh my god, yes, fine, whatever. But like it's true though, you know. The only reason we react in that way, that like, oh way, is because we are attaching to the density, we are attaching to the suffering, and we're attaching to the pain. And I'm not saying like it's easy to do. I'm not saying this journey is easy, and I'm not saying like, oh, just see things differently and everything's okay, which I kind of am, but it's easier said than done, right? Because it's so easy for us to fall into the trap of believing the dense energies. It's so easy for us to fall into the trap of believing the story. You know, if I am the source of everything that I experience, then me shifting my perspective to one of love, empowerment, and joy will most definitely project that outwards into my reality. No matter what is being thrown at me from myself or from other people, because once again, even the people throwing the things at us, even the matrix trying to stop us, or you know, Satan trying to like fucking get us to hell, however you see the darkness testing you and troubling you, however you see it, instead of once again, instead of seeing it as the darkness is testing me, or I am being attacked, or I am being bullied, or like, I'm not saying that it's not true, because it is in a way. Not in a way, it is true. But what I am saying, when you just shift your perspective to think, instead of like thinking like I'm being bullied, or I'm being attacked or anything, just rather think I'm being initiated. I am, every time somebody does magic to you, you are receiving the opportunity to transmute that energy. And as you transmute that energy, for instance, you start learning how to utilize it. You start learning how to do that magic yourself. You get what I'm saying? Because it is energy that is thrown at us. Because everything is energy. We simply need to be able to observe it. And in order to observe it, we simply need to shift our perspective a little bit. And so this transmission and this blessing, this medicine will definitely help you in shifting your perspective, so as to detach from the frequencies, so as to see how blessed and abundant you already truly are, you know. In whatever way your perspective needs shifting, this will shift it in that way for you. Just the magic of light language, right? Just the multidimensionality of light language. So yeah, let me just integrate a little bit more, un poquito más. As we shift our perspective, we start realizing that we have much more than we need. We start realizing that we are safe, that we are protected, that we are already held, that the stories are just stories, the illusions are just illusions, there's nothing to worry about, all is well. We just need to be able to move through the densities, accept the densities, observe the densities, and then integrate the densities. But that all requires a different perspective, a perspective that we were never taught. We were actually taught the exact opposite perspective. And so this is some integration and healing for that. So yes, Sat Nam, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for connecting. Thank you for being here. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Please remember to contact me for a personal session. My email's in the description box down below. Also, please remember to donate to my channel for the medicine that you are receiving. My PayPal is in the description box down below as well. And yes, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for connecting. Do realize that I do realize the struggles that this journey has, especially if you are a light being, you know. Like I guess life is difficult for everybody, but especially for us light beings, there are so many not only is it the like the actual matrix, but it's also the false light beings, people that are working for the darkness, that are trying to make everything as dense as possible because it's their job, right? But once again, the perspective shift requires you not to say, not to be okay, not to be fine with everything that's happening or what you're seeing or observing, but just to be able to accept it, and then shifting your perspective in regards to, what is this teaching me? Why am I going through this? Why am I experiencing this? Not like why, but like why? Why am I like what the fuck? Why am I experiencing this? What is happening? Why do I keep reliving a certain thing? As soon as you start asking yourself that, again, not in a victim way, not in a victimy way, like even if you do ask yourself in a victimy way, that's fine, because we need to express that. Why? It's needed. But more along the lines of, why am I going through this? Why am I experiencing this? What am I learning from this? Why am I reacting in the way I am reacting? Why do I feel the way I feel, etc., etc., etc.? Alright, Satnam, I love you so much love, so many blessings. I'm sending you joy and ease and flow, protection and knowing. I'm sending you knowing for you to have the most profound perspective shift, for you to know that you're safe and loved and held and all is well. Satnam, bye.